if rich people are having trouble with their heat and their power, you know, poor people are getting shafted super hard. But there is one person who is not getting shafted, or at least is getting shafted now as a consequence of getting caught in 4K, and that person is Texas's very own evangelical hobgoblin, the winner of the worst face award, in a place where there are some of the ugliest motherfuckers both inside and out on the planet, which is the American Congress. It is Ted Cruz. We are talking about Senator Rafael Edward Cruz, or I guess Ted Cruz, or I don't know where Ted comes from, but his actual name is, for those of you who don't know, Rafael Edward Cruz. Canada's worst export. Yeah, Tedward, I guess. Is that what it is? I'm pretty sure Edward short is Ed and not Ted. All of a sudden, there's no T in the front of it. Theodore is Ted. Maybe we should just start calling him Ed Cruz, dude. Okay, so here's what happened this morning, I guess earlier in the day today, 14 hours ago, technically. I woke up, I'm looking at Twitter, and all of a sudden I see my entire timeline light the fuck up. Ted Cruz is everywhere. And guess what? Normally you hate to see it because he is a very horrible human being. He is not fun to look at. It just like kind of hurts your eyeballs. But this time I was excited. Why was I excited? Because turns out this motherfucker had the audacity to literally flee the state of Texas, the great state of Texas, okay, that he supposedly loves, in the midst of a gigantic power crisis where both rich and poor people all across the state do not have access to power, do not have access to heat, do not even have actual drinkable water in many different parts of the state. And Ted Cruz is pulling a fled cruise and cruising over to Cancun with his family. So they caught him in 4K. Numerous people took photos because I guess he basically thought, like, you know, I never wear a mask normally, so they won't know. If I hide my ugly face under this mask, I'm sure that nobody will know it's me, Theodore Jebediah Edward Rafael Cruz. Turns out everybody did notice him, probably because of the evil aura that they were subjected to. And he got busted, like, everywhere, all around the airport. People took photos of him and posted it immediately. And it was confirmed that Ted Cruz and his family flew to Cancun tonight for a few days at a resort they visited before. Cruz seems to believe there isn't much for him to do in Texas for the millions of fellow Texans who remain without electricity, water, and are literally freezing. Now, this is, in the liberal playbook, a bad look sweaty. Now, I can't describe how much of a bad look this is. It's such a bad look that no matter how cucked Texas Republicans are, this is one thing they might not forget. Now, they will forgive John Cornyn for making the worst brisket on the planet, looking like you slathered marinara sauce on top of the driest fucking brisket I've ever seen. That literally looks like a meatloaf. But they are not, I don't think real Texans are gonna fucking forget Ted Cruz running away from the state when they were fucking freezing, especially because even Fox News was covering it and making fun of it a little bit. We'll see. Ted Cruz, and of course every other politician that is engaging in activities such as this, said that you know, Governor Gavin Newsom going to French Laundry or whatever to like have a personal dining experience with his fucking friends while he was doing a stay-at-home order for everyone else, which was very hypocritical, was ass blasted by those like Ted Cruz and everyone else. Yeah. Is that surprising? No, of course not. Of course they're going to do that. This is a game of politics. And if you get caught in fucking 4K with your homies at the fancy winery while you're telling all the small businesses to close down, well, that's not going to happen. Nancy Pelosi getting a haircut was considered a no-no because she had her mask off in between like walking from the area while she had just gotten her hair washed. They thought that that was like basically fucking treason. So of course everyone is going to retaliate in a similar capacity, and they should. It is completely unacceptable to be like, oh yeah, my heart and my thoughts and prayers to the wonderful people of my favorite state, Texas. Yeah, I'm going to Cancun. Fuck you. It's such fucking bullshit. The level of hypocrisy there is significantly higher than getting mad at this dipshit, Governor Newsom. It's only similar to the Austin guy who flew in a private jet to Cabo. Like, that's the only one I can think of. Subjecting other people to stay-at-home orders while you simultaneously are traveling with your homies in a private jet to Cabo. That's pretty fucking bad. But flying out when people are dying all around you, like escaping the tragedy where people are dying all around you with your family and like jetting them out to Cancun is really, really, really fucking bad. What of course was going to happen once he got caught is he was going to come out and say, oh no, I was just escorting them. Bitch, no the fuck you weren't. You bought a return ticket this morning. You booked a fucking ticket. You booked the resort for you and your family. You probably got it ahead of time. That's whatever. And you got caught. So now you're doing the walk of shame all the way back to fucking Texas. Senator Ted Cruz says, this has been an infuriating week for Texans. The greatest state and the greatest country in the world has been without power. We have food lines, gas lines, people sleeping in the neighbors' houses. Our homes are freezing and our lights are out. Like millions of Texans, our family lost heat and power too. With school canceled for the week, our girls asked to take a trip with friends. Wanted to be a good dad. I flew down with them last night and I'm flying back this afternoon. My staff and I are in constant communication with state and local leaders to get to the bottom of what happened in Texas. We want our power back, our water on, and our homes warm. My team and I will continue to use our resources to keep Texans informed and safe. I can't believe he just fucking blamed his daughter. What a fucking scumbag, dude. What an absolute scumbag. And by the way, of course, we have absolute dipshits like Ben Shabibo who reached critical levels of not recognizing the many things you can do in this circumstance, in this situation. Critical levels such as defending Ted Cruz for flying out to Cancun in the middle of a fucking massive crisis in his own state. Let's see what Ben Shabibo had to say about it. I mean, the depths that these motherfuckers will sink to is insane, dude.
And meanwhile, the media are going nuts today because Ted Cruz apparently is in Cancun. Now, I will admit that this is bad optics. Of course it's bad optics. Whenever there's a crisis, if you are seen to be having any sort of good time because our politics are incredibly stupid, this means that you're responsible for the crisis. Everything in politics is performative right now. Members of Congress don't do anything for a living. All they do is gather once every so often.
I love when Ben says everything in politics is performative right now. Like, bitch, what do? You're literally performatively defending Ted Cruz right now, and you performatively outrage over dumb shit every goddamn fucking day.
To spend too much of your money. And so everything becomes performative. Right? The reason that AOC is a star is because she goes to immigration facilities and takes photo shoots outside immigration facilities being emotional in response to what is going on, apparently, inside the immigration facilities. The more performative you are in politics, the better you do these days. That is just the reality of the situation. So I get that it's bad optics for Ted Cruz to take his family on vacation to Cancun right now. It even sounds bad. But let's be real about this for just 1 second. This is one of the stupidest aspects of our politics. Like, what exactly? It's not a real-time crisis that Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas, can do anything about. Because the senator from Texas is, in fact, in the United States Senate. He's a federal officer, right? He's a federal elected official. This is up to the mayor of Houston and, like, the governor of Texas. And
yeah, I mean, what could senators do? I mean, seriously. Like, what could they do? I don't know. Fucking not leave for Cancun and go volunteer at a fucking shelter? But no, that's performative. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because in Ben Shapiro's worldview, helping other people within your neighborhood or within your vicinity or within reach is always considered a performative act. So in his, and if Ted Cruz did it, let's be real, it would be performative. But at least he could say, well, I'm doing my part. Meanwhile, Ben is like, everything, this is all performative, so let him have fun. I don't understand.
And all the people who are state level officials. And also, I just wonder, what is Ted Cruz, like, did they expect Ted to go there with, like, a blowtorch and start defrosting all of the pipelines? He can do what Beto O'Rourke does, and he can tweet out a bunch of links to people who are helping out. I'm sure Ted's already done that. But the notion that the gravest of all sins is that you took your family to a place that is not Texas in the middle of a bad situation in Texas. My favorite part of this is all the journalists in their heated apartments in New York who are tweeting angrily about all of this. I can't believe Ted Cruz would do something like this. Oh, yeah. I see you there on the ground handing out food.
17 months.
Really, well done there. Really, really.
Yeah, no, try to fly into Texas in the midst of a pandemic while there's also flights are fucking grounded, while there are 0 empty hotel rooms. What an incredible fucking take, dude. What an incredible fucking take, dude. It is brilliant. Absolute brilliance, dude. What are journalists supposed to do? They're just scolding people like, oh, you mean they're fucking doing their jobs as like covering the fucking news and expressing outrage like normal people would in a situation where a senator who claims to fucking love a state dipped the fuck out and then blamed it on his daughter too in the midst of a fucking massive crisis? How can anyone look at this and be like, yeah, Ben is like really, Ben's such an honest guy. Like he's an honest guy. He's really genuine. He's got a good moral compass. Like he's not just some fucking grifter dipshit who rushes to defend Republicans at every stage. Why are you shitting on Ted Cruz? He's not wasting resources by being in Texas. Shut the fuck up. No Excuse PAC is currently running this ad in Texas. Tweet via Dave Weigel.
Across the state of Texas, homes are without power. They're without water. Our loved ones are dying. And our senator decided this would be a good time for a Mexican vacation. He got busted for
a Mexican vacation. He didn't even go to Oklahoma. He went to Mexico. Actually, never mind. Oklahoma's worse than Mexico.
Wouldn't decided to feed us a line of malarkey about how he's just going to accompany the family down there for a day. You may be thinking, what could Ted Cruz do anyway? Well, Beto O'Rourke organized phone banks to do wellness checks on the elderly. And if they weren't doing well, he made sure that he got them help. Cancun cruise is an embarrassment to Texas. Has been, always will be. No Excuses PAC is responsible for the content of this act.
He's doing a Mexican vacation. He's taking our U.S. dollars down to Cancun. I'm sorry, but if you've never dropped your kids off in Cancun for a play date during a pandemic and a humanitarian crisis in your home state, that's probably because you're just a liberal Hollywood elitist with no values. Exactly. Yo, Texans will, not Texans, but like Republicans will turn this into that, by the way. Unironically, turn this entire process into, wow, the liberal Hollywood elitists are attacking us once again for taking our daughters down to Cancun in the midst of a pandemic. I cannot believe it. This whole lot of luggage for a dude who's playing shittiest dad drop off. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I too love to. By the way, look at that. Look at that fucking incredible optics brain on my guy. He's like, well, I got caught, so I might as well wear a Texas mask on my way back. Look, I love Texas. See? Look at my face. He was just going there for a day, guys. Look, he was just going there for a day. Okay, you don't understand. Look at this Patriot flying economy. He's not. I think senators literally get upgraded because senator flights are comped by the taxpayers. Most airlines upgrade senator flights to business, if I'm not mistaken. Unless because this was a last second booking, which it was. He booked this literally this morning. He probably didn't get upgraded. Here's the upgraded list, by the way, for this afternoon's flight from Cancun to Houston. Looks like Ted Cruz is on his way back. He's just narrowly missing the upgrade list, assuming that Crew R is him. Yeah. He's checked in, but he won't be able to upgrade, folks. Ted Cruz doing this shit is the exact type of leadership Republicans hate as a party. Guys, they don't. They do it all the time. How many times do I have to tell you? Ted Cruz is not a poor person. Ted Cruz is not a layman. Ted Cruz is not the average everyday Joe. Just because he puts on fucking $300, $400 snakeskin cowboy boots and a big fucking belt buckle and says, yeehaw, I love Texas. And I love to do racism, I'm evangelical, doesn't change the reality that he is significantly multiple layers removed from the experience of a regular old American citizen. AOC, on the other hand, despite being, a bicoastal elite in the eyes of people like Ted Cruz and their followers, is absolutely closer to being a working class person, considering the fact that only 2 fucking years ago, she literally was a bartender. Okay, kind of weird, dude, being upset that a dude cared for his family. Dude, you're out of your fucking mind if you think that. I don't have anything for you, dude. You're just literally the biggest, most brain dead fucking moron I've ever met. Unless you're baiting. Like, you can't really be. I think Ted did the right thing. Fuck it, the place is shit and he has the means to go to a less shitty place. Why shouldn't he? No, it's not bait. It's real. Let me describe something to you. If you get upset about how shitty your existence is and how shitty things are here, if you ever see a massive check or a massive bill in the mail after, I don't know, God forbid you go to a hospital or something, the reason why we justify the system and don't demand more is because of cucks like you. You are exactly who I'm talking about. Your peasant mentality is so damaging that I do not know how else to talk about it. Like you are literally asking to get cucked. And I tweeted about you, not knowing that you actually exist. I said Texas Republicans are pathetic and some of them will defend Cruz leaving for Cancun, saying they do the same if they had the resources. This is why so many working poor conservatives advocate to lower tax for the wealthy and then defend Trump not paying taxes is smart. Not recognizing that when you cape for the fucking wealthy this way, they're getting away with it. And you are straight up justifying that.
Antonia, I got to ask you about Ted Cruz. With all this going on in his state,
hold on.
The senator flew his family down to Cancun, Mexico. A lot of people raising eyebrows over that one. What is the latest on that controversy, and what are Texans saying to you about it?
Well, Texans are angry, and I believe we have a copy of the statement that Senator Cruz released today that doesn't give much of an explanation of exactly why he went to Cancun, or why it was necessary for him to take that trip at this time. But Texans have interpreted this as the ultimate insult. In fact, I can pull up some of the commentary that was made to me today. One family I reached out to, they said that they actually were struggling to even focus on Senator Cruz's actions because they were hunting for water. And I think that says a lot. right? Another family reached out to me and said that he needs to be here working with the other elected officials, creating avenues for us like food and shelter, working alongside other government organizations. They called it a slap in the face. And they said, are you vacationing? What are you doing in Cancun? So people are angry, and they feel like that is just the ultimate insult after everything Texans have been through this week, Allison.
Yeah, the other portion of that statement, Cruz said his kids wanted to go down to Mexico, blaming it on the kids, sir. I don't know. Antonia, you have become quite an expert in utilities, electric, water. Yeah, for real. You have become really the expert.
It's kind of wild that they're just like straight up nuking them. Like, yeah, people aren't buying it.
For explaining to us what's going on, and our best to everybody there.
Holy shit. You know, it is also incredibly fucking like LA Andy of Ted Cruz to just like fly to Cancun. That's exactly what like influencers and shit do out here. They literally would just like do a weekend in fucking in Mexico, and you know, at some fucking mansion or some shit, and then come back. It is the most LA thing to do. It's a total shit, but doesn't it take attention away from the fucked infrastructure and climate problems that got us in this situation? No.
Senator Cruz is in Cancun right now, but you know, here at his offices we say big whoop. Senator Cruz deserves to relax, unwind, unplug, recharge, you know, like you would a power outlet. Or his power grid's gonna go out, and we can't be.
This is not real. This is not real. This is a fucking meme. Come on, guys. It's very clearly parody. Holy shit.
Having that, you know, that's too important. So he's got to take care of his lot, which comes from the inside. And it's just like, why can't he have his eat, pray, love moment like everybody else can? It's just funny to me. It's funny that whenever he's here in America and he's doing his little jokes on Twitter, everybody says, "Go away, Ted. We hate you." But then when he goes away to Cancun, everybody says, well, where's Ted? Why isn't he doing his little jokes on Twitter? Now,
so the problem is actual conservatives do make this argument. Maybe not the second part where they know that like Ted Cruz is horrible. Actually, no, Dinesh D'Souza literally made this argument. Dinesh D'Souza's very unironic and very serious argument was, well, you know, what the fuck's he going to do? So is Ben Shapiro. I was like, I mean, he's useless. So, of course, he should leave and take some time off.
Sometimes you just don't know what you got till it's gone, and that should be a lesson for the Americans wondering where Senator Ted Cruz is at this morning.
Sometimes difficult to identify sarcasm and parody when it literally sounds the same as what conservatives legitimately say or believe. Yeah.
This woman should have got a show
so
instead
weird.
of Sarah Cooper.
It's starting to feel weird. I don't feel so good. Ted Cruz looks so weird. Oh, God.
I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
I saw the shape of his face, and it looked like it was a man, but it was melting.
I'm going to say it. Ted Cruz.
Oh, it's pretty funny. That's a good meme. It's one that I agree with, okay? Because it's fucking true. Did Ted think people wouldn't care? I think he just honestly thought that people wouldn't recognize him. Like, because there's no fucking way. I don't understand how you thought that you could get away with this. Like, I legitimately do not understand that. Especially after how much you grilled people for being hypocrites and shit, you know? Maybe it's like the insurrectionists. He never thought he would face repercussions for his actions. Big case of affluenza. I think conservatism has gotten to a degree where they are so unaware. Like, they just think they have so much fucking power that they just literally don't think that anyone's ever going to question their actions or motives or like I don't think that they can envision a reality in which they suffer the consequences of doing something stupid or bad or wrong.
This week, which will make things even worse. So if you can stay home, don't go out on the roads, don't risk the ice. I was speaking this weekend with a meteorologist expert who was saying the combination of these two storms, we could see up to 100 people lose their lives this week in Texas. So don't risk it. Keep your family safe and just stay home and hug your kids.
So far, think about it this way. The conservative machine is so fucking solid at like deflecting blame away so quickly that it's entirely dependent on like whether Fox News and all these other outlets like want to defend Ted Cruz or not. Because if they do, they will find someone and they will find something to misdirect to. Just like the real reason why Texas is experiencing these problems is because of administrative malpractice. They refused any sort of government regulation, any sort of federal regulation into what they do with their surplus energy. That's why they weren't a part of the main grid nearly every other state is a part of. And also because of climate change, creating a situation where extreme weather conditions are now the norm. And the entirety of the Texas infrastructure is built with the past 50 or 100 years of weather conditions in mind. And weather conditions are changing dramatically as a consequence of climate change, right? All of that is shit that they don't want to admit. So what do they do instead? They rush to blame renewable energy. They rush to blame windmills. They immediately start attacking the Green New Deal. They didn't even wait. They just they were on it. They were on it like a hive mind too. So you really have to pay attention to how awful they are, but how successful they are at deflecting and shifting responsibility and like focusing on red herrings, which is part of the reason why I think Ted Cruz and others just think that they can get away with everything, and they probably will ultimately get away with everything. Oh, they interviewed him at the airport
from day one.
Okay, we're done with the hashtag NASA ads. Okay.
And well, Texas is going through horrific storms, and millions of Texans have lost power and lost heat and have been hurt. And our family was among them. We had no heat, no power. And yesterday, my daughters asked if they could take a trip with some friends, and Heidi and I agreed, so I flew down with them last night, dropped them off here, and now I'm headed back to Texas and back to continuing to work to try to get the power on. What's happening in Texas is unacceptable, and a lot of Texans are hurting.
It's such bullshit. I love that. He thought he thought people would just not realize that, he was like, it's a cheat code. I'll just mention my daughter. I'll just mention my daughter on the same day international vacation. Okay, what's the problem there? Does your daughter not know what a fucking plane looks like? Is Mexico so dangerous that you have to go with your daughter there? And if that is the case, then why did you fucking leave her there? She's 10. I know, but she went with her mom. 10 and 12-year-olds are not making arguments to be like, hey, dad, let's go to Cancun. It's a complete fucking fabrication. Oh, wait, I forgot. You guys don't know. Maybe some of you didn't know that. Yeah, the daughters are like 10 years old. Famously, remember that one video of them being disgusted by being in the presence of Ted Cruz? Even with all the fucking terrible Texas situation, why the fuck are kids going on trips to other countries with friends? It's not real. His argument is just completely fucking made up. I think he relies on people not knowing and not remembering this. No.
Yeah, they're going with me.
Hey, let's hop out of my street.
We're taking it. Good jump. Good jump. Ready for
Read on r/conservative about Ted Cruz, half for defending him? No fucking way. To be fair, he's their federal representative. He has no real state power. Also, what the hell is he supposed to do? Climb up? Dude, come on, dude. Also, dude, this is so funny. r/conservative Rush Limbaugh 2021. He's a senator. He has no state power. Oh, really? I didn't realize that senators were fucking powerless, dude. I totally failed that part, I guess, in government class. I mean, my God, it's just what we're asking for at this stage is like just symbolically act like you feel bad about what's going on and not fucking dipset. Texan Republicans are such fucking gigantic cucks that their expectation from their fucking leaders is to do nothing. Like, you're gonna defend your community leader running away because because your dollars have given him a tremendous amount of wealth that he has the power to do so. It's so dumb. Anyway, GTA 6 rumors is what we're going to talk about now. The GTA 6 rumors are coming in more and more regularly, which usually means one of two things. A, people are desperate for some GTA 6 news, or B, we're getting closer to GTA 6 reveal. The latest gossip is that GTA 6 could launch in October 2023 and be set in Miami. That's from a dubious online source, though, but additional details from that leak